Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox On the channel. Hope so you're forever here. Not a long video for you guys. I just wanted to do a quick channel update. It is the year 2023. This is the first month of January. And of course, I want to kick it off by letting you guys know that there will be a Wrecking Crew podcast. I normally do this bi weekly. I'm going to continue that tradition in the year 2023. So this Friday will actually be the first podcast for the All In channel of the brand new year. And I hope you guys can join me on that podcast. It's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to put out there as far as Xbox is concerned. I know I did a year in review last year. I talked a little about the future of the games coming up in 2023. For this current podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about the overall state of gaming. And I'm not just talking about Xbox. Well, as you guys know, I'm an Xbox centric podcast. But we're going to be talking about gaming in general as well. And we're going to cover all kind of different topics. I'll do the listing and stuff and send it out to the guys. Hopefully, a lot of them can join us. I know in the podcast we had last week, we had a couple of the guys jump in, which is great. Hopefully, some of you guys will be able to join us in the comment section as well. Look, it's always great to get people watching your streams live. I know a lot of you guys like the guests that we have on. But more importantly, you guys like the people that are the recurring members of the podcast. And shout out to those dudes, as you guys know, the usual suspects, which is Hebot, the world's most powerful gamer, of course, Sega Man, E-Rock X, the Don King of Xbox, Unlimited Productions. T Reaper was on the last episode, which I really do appreciate. And then hopefully we can get some of the other guys in here as well. I know I've been trying to connect with NWO Prime, old school Xbox dude that's still doing stuff on his YouTube channel. Please go check him out. I'm trying to support him as much as possible. And there's some other people in the community that I'd like to get on. 100's been jumping in on the podcast, which I appreciate as well. The only issue I have, of course, like I told you guys before, is just the time that I get to do this. I'll try and do it as early as I can, possibly on Friday. But I can't make any promises. If it's a little bit later, I know I might get a couple other guys join in, or might have to go solo. But yeah, man, jump in because it's going to be a full podcast. I know I've been dealing with this a little bit. Time has been an issue for me, as well as other pressing matters that I know a lot of us have when it comes to life in general. But yeah, I'm still working on the channel, guys. I'm still trying to get it to where I want it to be, and that's again why I'm doing this quick video to let you guys know what to expect in 2023. I know a lot of you guys who listen to my content, man. My content might slant a little bit on the negative side, which I can't help, man. I'm kind of like Unlimited, man. When I do my videos, it's going to be about something with some substance. It's going to be talking about specific things. And hats up to Unlimited Productions. Of course, he always brings the truth when he needs to. And that's something that I'm passionate about as well on this channel. If you guys been following me for a long time, I'm not telling you guys stuff you haven't known. I know I've been a little bit off and on. Like I said, 2023, man, one of my New Year's resolutions when it comes to Xbox, besides getting to my back catalog of games and doing a better job of managing my time around my schedule when it comes to Game Pass, because the the struggle is very real, man. Don't let the haters tell you that there's nothing for Game Pass or that there's no games, man. If you guys have Game Pass and you guys are gamers like I am, you guys know that's a straight out lie. And again, that's me just talking about some of the stuff that bothers me in the Xbox community and the gaming community in general. And that's not going to change in 2023. That's what the channel has been about all this time, because it's what I'm most passionate about. It's the thing that concerns me the most. And I like speaking on it for this channel. So again, that's not going to change. We're moving forward with that. But I'm definitely going to be a little bit more positive this year, because I'm going to need to be. I mean, it won't be hard to be that way. And like I said, I know I kind of slant negative, but it's not going to be hard to do that this year, because 2023 is very loaded when it comes to what Xbox is offering its consumers and its fans. Right, I'm a bit of both. And so if you guys know, if you guys have Game Pass like I do, you guys see what's happening in the gaming community, especially on the Xbox side, you know that it's going to be a big year for us. And I'll touch on that with the guys as well, because I really want to see what their perspective is going into 2023. And I'm talking across the board. We're going to be talking about media. We're going to be talking about a lot of these events starting to come back. I know at the end of January, it was officially announced that Microsoft, I think it's January 25th, that they have special event coming in. Like I guess a lot of people are comparing it to Nintendo Direct. Look, if it's with Xbox, whatever it's out there, man, just go online and look at it. And get it from the source. Aaron Greenberg and all these guys. They put all that information out there. And then just be excited, guys. Be excited about what you're gonna have. I'm telling you, like I was saying, it's just gonna be a big year for Xbox, and I'm really looking forward to it. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly for the channel update, as far as the podcast is concerned, the Wrecking Crew podcast. What I really want to do on that show is kind of meld together a lot of the pop culture stuff in general, not just the gaming. But what I'm finding is that the podcasts are running a little bit long, which for me, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't do this channel to get like subscriptions and views. I mean, if you guys are joining me, I mean, that's great, that's awesome. But it's in the actual camaraderie with the guys in the community, as well as interaction with the people out there who tune into the podcast, right? Because it is fun for me when people are commenting, and because there's people within the gaming community, especially on the Xbox side, that are a lot of the things that they have their finger on the pulse when it comes to gaming. Again, in general, but most particularly in the Xbox, because again, I am pro Xbox channel. So I like listening to people's comment and their feedback. I like interacting with them, man. It's one of the things I hope that the podcast will get there. Yeah, like anybody else, who wouldn't want to have 1 million subscribers, or who wouldn't want like over thousands of people listening to your podcast when it's live? There's a lot of guys I follow that got that kind of swagger, and this channel is not like that. Though I wouldn't mind having it like that, again, just for the basic fact of interacting, because again, a lot of the people that are coming to the Xbox podcast, man, they know their stuff, and it's always great when you're talking to people that can actually talk back, right, and talk intelligently, but also that are just real. And that's what you get a lot with the circle of friends that I'm with, and then of course the people that gravitate around that circle within the community itself. So as we move forward, I'll be tweaking it a little bit. I'll still keep that format for this Friday. I'll work with the guys to see if they want to do a separate podcast. I mean, I could go solo myself. I'm not gonna lie. I could talk about that kind of stuff for days. But it's always great to have like interaction, right? Like I just said. So I'll talk to them about that. See what the direction, if they'll be able to join. And if that's the case, I'll probably do that every other week, and probably try and switch it off with the Wrecking Crew podcast if I can. What I might have to do is like do 2 podcasts in 1 week. I would like to alternate, but I don't know if that's going to be possible given my schedule. But yeah, so going forward, 2023 for this channel, please expect a lot of different things. And I know I say that a lot, but I'm definitely looking at just doing a lot of things like formatting more, and then actually scripting this stuff out a little bit better, and then hopefully you guys will see the difference in the channel. Like I'm not trying to be like the next IGN or anything like that. In fact, I try and avoid to be like those channels. I mean, if you see what happens with what they do over there, I could never do that. I hold myself personally responsible if I was a sellout. But yeah. So join us for the podcast. It's gonna be happening this Friday. I can't really give you guys an exact time. Hopefully, it'll probably be about 5 or 6, between 5 and 8. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, if not, it might run a little bit late. I know the guys are all over the country, right? So that's another issue and stuff like that. But just stay tuned, man. On Friday, you see that thing jump up, man. Just jump on in and be a part of the conversation, because it's going to be cool. And like I said, I'll try and get as much of the guys in there as possible, because it's going to be a good time. And I really am looking forward to Xbox in 2023. Game Pass has already been huge for January. I see there's people talking about as far as what Game Pass had towards the end of the year in December. They started off strong, in the beginning of the month, and people are saying they fell off. Like they didn't fall off, man. They've been hitting bombs throughout the entire year for 2022. This is why I get upset when people say 2022 was a down year, and especially when it comes from the Xbox side. Right, because 2022 was a huge year for Xbox. Consider everything that's going on, within gaming, man. Xbox did a lot of firsts, and they did some things to hold the line as well, and they need to be given kudos for that. I know that the prices of the games are going to go up, but that's but Xbox tried to hold off as much as possible. with that decision, though it's going to happen. And there's other stuff. Look, as we go through the year, there is some things I'm going to talk about that Microsoft does as a company and what Xbox does as a brand that I don't like. I'm constantly on my channel talking about switching the narrative, and I realized this last couple of months that has to begin with me. And one of the things I'm going to start doing is focusing on issues that I have personally, again with the Xbox brand and Microsoft as a company, and I think a lot of other people do. And I want to shift the focus to that and not to hate on Xbox, like some of these Xbox guys did over the years, right? They started off pro Xbox, saw that they were losing viewership, and they switched to hating on Xbox, and they did it all for the clout. And that's never going to happen on this channel. Dude. When I say I'm Xbox All In, and that's why that's the name of my channel, or the All In channel and stuff like that. But it's Xbox All In channel, and that's the way it is, and it's always going to be that way. 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you come back to this channel. Like if you just leave the channel, then you happen to catch a video 5 years from now, it'll be the same thing. I'll be the same way. That's just the way it is. So you don't have to worry about that, right? And that's the kind of thing I want to do. Again, doing my part to change the narrative, right? Because there's some things we need to talk about, which I find kind of interesting because I see other people starting to do that as well. Given how long myself, Hebot, E-Rock, Mr. 100, Sega Man, all of us Unlimited have been talking about for the last couple of years, is that there's real issues that Microsoft has to deal with, and in doing so, right, make the experience for their consumers and their fans better. And that's what it all boils down to. It's just not complaining for the sake of hating. It's not complaining to see Xbox fail. It's not complaining to get clout or clicks or follows, right? None of that stuff matters to me. What matters to me is that if Xbox as a brand is doing something I don't think is on point, or as Microsoft as a company that's not bringing it correct, I will talk about it on this channel and hold them accountable. Because when you do that, right, I do it for the sake of the brand and for the company to have the experience for the overall gamer, whether you're neutral, whether you're just a casual, whether you're a dude bro gamer. There's a lot of those guys out there. Just a gamer in general, man, just so that we can all benefit. Right, because over the next year, Game Pass, I think, will spearhead a movement that will finally get a lot of these normies over. I mean, you see the transition rate, you see how the competition's reacting to Game Pass, and that's all that you need to know. You don't have to believe all the haters out there, all the fake news in the gaming media and stuff like that. Just look at the actions of Microsoft's competitors or some of the biggest companies in the world who are trying to get into this space and have not been able to do so. And then, as you guys know, Microsoft recently celebrated 20 years, right, in the gaming industry. And if you guys have not seen the documentary, Power On, which is the story of Xbox, definitely recommend you go watch that documentary. You can watch it on YouTube, and I believe it's on the Xbox channel. But yeah, definitely check it out, man. Microsoft might be one of the youngest companies when it comes to gaming, but they're definitely one of the biggest. In fact, I think they're the ones leading the gaming industry forward right now. And so they deserve the kudos for that, man. But if you're going to come on board over here, if you're going to get involved in this console war, you don't have to. But if you're going to get involved in this console war, man, you gotta weapon up. You gotta ammo up, man. You gotta know what's really going on, man. You gotta really, because a lot of the stuff you probably learned about gaming, especially when it comes to the big three, you're gonna have to unlearn that stuff, man, and learn what the truth is, and know the real history of gaming and how things got to the way they are right now, and why there's as E-Rock likes to say, a paradigm shift within the gaming community right now when it comes to the next generation consoles and the industry as a whole. Taking the stuff streaming, the services that are being provided, right? The deluge of content is coming from the independent market, and also the AAA market that's constantly in flux, right? And just the money on the business, man. I mean, by leaps and bounds, the billions of dollars that the gaming industry makes. But you got to kind of look at where does that money go? Who actually is leading this market, right? And the different avenues by which you can enjoy your gaming experience, man. I mean, I'm just not talking about Xbox as a hardware, right? They have it on PC. They're gonna go mobile with this stuff. I mean, they're definitely facing future. Microsoft proper. They're facing future, and they're pushing the industry forward, and it's a good thing to see, at least in my opinion, especially since I'm a fan. But if you're just a casual and a consumer, it'll benefit you too. I'm pretty sure you guys are feeling that with Game Pass. But yeah, again, we'll just be talking about that this Friday in more detail. I don't want to give too much away on this. I'll be rambling on for a little while. But when I do these updates and stuff like that, it's the reason why I want to start doing this a little bit more frequently, probably twice a month. And it's just again to promote the podcast as well, but just so I can catch up on some stuff that I've been talking about in general, right? Whether it's with my channel and Xbox, right? More specifically, but when I say in general, I'm talking about just information. Like basically, it's gonna be an information dump, like I'm giving it to you guys right now. And basically, I'm doing this because I just wanted to do a video and talk, right? And that's why we're doing it as a live broadcast. And I know it's late where I'm at, so a lot of you guys are probably sleeping. Hopefully, you guys will catch it tomorrow, and hopefully, you guys will be able to join us, man, all in on the All In channel for the Wrecking Crew Xbox All In channel. Sorry, for the Wrecking Crew podcast because we're gonna have a good time. Anyway, so I'm gonna end the video right there, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys have any concerns, if you guys have any questions, I'm fine with that too. I'm more than willing to answer any questions. But anyway, this is Sega Forever, Xbox All In channel. We out.